Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to talk to you about a topic that we seldom think about, but that is still of fundamental importance in all our lives. What are we talking about? See for yourselves. We have visited a university cafeteria to find out what students know about how their food is produced.
Do you know where the food comes from?
Not necessarily the whole process. Just like I know my rice comes from Thailand, but I don't know how it is produced.
I don't know anything about the food. Yes.
No idea. I think it's better for me if I don't know where it comes from.
Do you think there are any issues about how food is usually produced, or does it work well?
You mean do I have any concept how the food is produced? Yes, through murdering the cows and pigs is so cruel. That's why I choose vegetarian.
I am quite concerned about genetic modification of food.
These are already some good ideas, but let's explain in detail how food supply works. Back in the past, where there was only 1.5 billion people on the planet, mankind was running like this: assemble tools and natural manure. So how did we change the way we farm that we are now able to feed more than 7 billion people on the planet? The answer is modern agriculture.
The most efficient farming system in human history.
Modern agriculture is characterized by large-scale monocultural farms and animal confinement operations that allow mass production of food. In modern agriculture, various inputs are used, such as fertilizer, water, pesticides, and petroleum, which is crucial for fertilizer production, farm machinery operation, and food transportation. Also, the application of genetic modified organisms, GMOs, such as pest-resistant potatoes and other high-yielding varieties, increase quality and quantity of food produced.
But there are three major issues related to the way we currently produce food. The first problem is related to the use of nutrients. Plants absorb nutrients from the soil to grow. Grown plants are usually transported far from the farm to the city. There people eat, digest, and then excrete the digested plants into the sewerage. From the sewerage, most digested plants eventually reach the ocean, in which the remaining plant nutrients get dissolved. This means that there is a large movement of plant nutrients from the farm to the ocean, and while nutrients in the ocean are increasing, the nutrients in the soil are depleted by the current system. The second problem of modern agriculture is related to the agricultural inputs petroleum and fertilizer. Fertilizers are crucial to supply the soil with new nutrients because of the nutrient loss from farm soils to the ocean. Many fertilizers contain phosphorus, a nutrient which is necessary for plant growth. Currently, phosphorus is obtained from mining phosphate rock, but phosphate rock is a diminishing global resource. Petroleum deposits are diminishing globally as well. The implication is that an agricultural system which depends on inputs that are non-renewable, such as petroleum and phosphate rock, is not sustainable. The third problem of modern agriculture is the negative implications that it has on biodiversity. 1/3 of all the land on the world has been converted into agricultural land, for example through deforestation. This trend has led to a huge loss of natural habitat. The constant flow of nutrients from the soil to the ocean causes large algal blooms in many water bodies. These new conditions cause a decrease in biodiversity. Of the around 3,000 edible plant species, we only produce around 35 high-yielding varieties, some of them GMOs, often on large-scale monoculture farms. This practice strongly disfavors biodiversity. The use of pesticides also harms biodiversity. The widespread disappearance of bee colonies all around the world, for example, is largely attributed to the harmful effects of pesticides. All this shows that the activities of modern agriculture damage the ecological balance and threaten biodiversity.
So what can we do to produce our food in a sustainable way that benefits biodiversity and does not dependent on non-renewable resources? Our correspondent has visited an organic farm in Clearwater Bay in Hong Kong, searching for answers.
For the plants, how can you let them to get enough nutrient without using some chemical fertilizer?
We collect horse manure from the stables, and it's mixed with hay and some wood blocks, and we compost it on site here.
May I ask, how can you prevent your crops from pests?
We create biodiversity. We plant many different plants, and we create a mini ecosystem. So within that ecosystem comes resilience.
This means that the sustainability of agriculture can be promoted by growing diverse plants to support ecosystem resilience and by producing fertilizers locally from manure and other organic inputs.
We hope that this report has provided you with some insights into the problem and possible solutions for modern food supply.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon. There are still many environmental issues out there to be addressed.